You know that feeling of being adrift? Like when someone you really rely on for guidance, a mentor, a leader, maybe a teacher, isn't there anymore, and suddenly everything just feels a little fuzzy? It's a feeling we all get. And it turns out there's this ancient story that gives us a powerful roadmap for that exact situation. It's the story of Nandishvara, one of the Buddha's disciples.
So, listen to this. These are his words from more than 2,000 years ago. He had just found out that his teacher, the person who was his anchor, was getting ready to leave. And his reaction? It is just so raw, so incredibly relatable. We're not just talking about sadness here. This is a complete shutdown.
You see, Nandishvara's problem was way deeper than just missing his teacher. It's like his whole world lost its color. He literally says he couldn't tell one direction from another. And all those teachings he valued so much, poof, they just vanished from his mind. He wasn't just leaning on his teacher was his entire foundation. And now, that foundation was about to crumble.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. The Buddha's response. He doesn't just pat Nandishvara on the back and say, "Don't be sad." Nope. Instead, he sees this total crisis as a teaching moment. He gives him a practical, step-by-step system for building a source of strength that comes from within.
So what the Buddha offers him is this timeless remedy. You can think of it like a two-part toolkit for your mind. First, you've got to build a solid inner foundation. Then, you move on to a set of active mental exercises. And the best part, the whole system is designed to work whether your guide is right there with you or 1,000 miles away.
All right, so first up, the foundation. The Buddha tells him to work on these 5 core qualities. You can really think of them as the essential groundwork for a stable mind. It's all about consciously choosing faith over doubt, purity in what you do, generosity, you get the idea. The point is to build this foundation before the ground starts to shake, right? So you actually have something solid to stand on when things get tough.
Okay, so once that foundation is in place, or at least you're working on it, the Buddha introduces part 2 of the toolkit. And this is an active practice. He calls them the 6 recollections. Basically, 6 specific things you can intentionally bring to mind anytime you start to feel lost.
And what's so fascinating about these 6 recollections is the beautiful balance they create. The first 3, they have you looking outward, to the teacher, the teaching, the community, but then, and this is the absolute game changer, the next 3 turn your focus inward, to your own integrity, your own good deeds, and your own potential.
So the first one is about remembering the Buddha, and not just as some guy from history, but as an ideal, you know? Think about the qualities he represents, that deep calm, that wisdom, that compassion. Bringing this to mind is kind of like holding up a picture of what a clear, peaceful mind looks like, just to inspire your own.
Next up, number 2, remember the teaching itself, the Dharma. Now think about this like remembering gravity. I mean, it's a principle that's just true, whether you're thinking about it or not, right? So recalling these timeless truths gives you this incredible anchor in a world that's always changing. Third is remembering the community, the Sangha. And this one is so important. It's about remembering that you are not walking this path alone. Just knowing that you're part of this huge group of people, all trying their best to be better, well, that gives you this powerful sense of encouragement and shared purpose. All right, and now we make that shift inward. This is huge. The 4th recollection is about remembering your own integrity. Seriously, think back to a time when you did the right thing, even when it was super hard. Recalling your own ethical actions isn't about ego, not at all. It's about building this quiet, powerful self-respect that nobody can ever take away from you.
Okay, 5th, we're staying right here, looking inward. This time, you remember your own acts of generosity. Just recall a time you gave something freely with no strings attached. Again, this isn't about patting yourself on the back. It's about tapping into that genuine joy and confidence that comes straight from your own good heart.
And the final recollection. This one is subtle, but it's incredibly empowering. It's all about recognizing that the very same positive qualities you admire in others, wisdom, courage, generosity, they also exist as seeds right inside of you. It's a powerful reminder of your own potential for growth and goodness. So you might be wondering, okay, what's the point of all this? Like, what actually happens in your brain when you practice one of these recollections? Well, this is where the teaching reveals its true power. The text lays out this clear, almost predictable chain reaction that unfolds in your mind, and it leads directly to inner peace.
Yeah, this process is like a set of dominoes, but falling in the best possible way.
So check this out. When you practice a recollection, you cut through all that mental clutter. And what does that bring? Clarity. Then that clarity naturally leads to joy. And this isn't some forced, I have to be happy kind of thing. It's a gentle, natural uplifting. That joy then calms your body. And once your body is calm, your mind can finally truly focus. And it's from that place of deep focus that real insight, seeing things as they really are, can finally happen.
And here's the absolute key takeaway. The text makes it crystal clear. This isn't some far-off, mystical goal you might reach one day. No. This cascade of peace is the direct result of practicing any single one of these recollections anytime you need it. It's a tool you can use right now.
So what you're seeing here is the complete transformation, right? You start out on one side, feeling lost, confused, totally dependent on something or someone else. But by practicing this, by turning inward, you cultivate a mind that is clear, joyful, and totally capable of finding its own stability and its own wisdom. So what about our guy Nandishvara? How did his story end? Well, the text says that when he heard this roadmap, he accepted it with great joy. He got it. The solution to his despair wasn't about trying to stop the Buddha from leaving. The real, lasting remedy was this amazing toolkit he could carry inside himself forever. And that, of course, brings this ancient lesson right back to us, here and now. In our own moments of uncertainty, when the people or the things we rely on just aren't there for us, this teaching asks a really simple but profound question. When you can't rely on the external, what will you choose to recollect?